solving February March 2017. This AIT paper, paper 2. Initially what I'll do is I will solve the spreadsheet part since it was a request by many students, my students especially. So the last fundraising event was an auction run by 3 different charities. Data was collected about this auction and stored in a number of spreadsheet files. All documents must fit on a single portrait page wide when printed on an A4. We usually use A4 size paper in our CIEs. On A4 paper with text at least 12 points high. Display all currency values in dollars with 2 decimal places. All documents must be of professional standard and produced using most efficient methods. Okay, like I've told you all the way that take your exams as you're going for a job, not as an examination, because you have to come up with different ideas and solutions. Okay, using suitable software package, open and examine the following files: auction, bidder, and charity. So we'll open up auction. Obviously, even if the examiner does not tell you to open the files, you should always inspect these files. Okay, I have the lot number, charity, cost of winning, and all that. Then I have bidder. In bidder, I have the bidder name, forename, surname. I have the area, telephone address, address 1, 2, and you can see some of my addresses are missing. So it's perfectly fine. I should know what I have. Okay. Then I have is charity. Okay, in charity, just have 3 records. You can see, and that's it. Okay. So let's go back to the question. Okay, I'll close the files. So, in the most appropriate file, create a folder containing this, last edited by your names and number. Insert in a new column after charity column in cell C3 using a function to look up the charity name appropriately. Insert an appropriate label in cell C3. Okay. So obviously, if you open up all the files, you will see there is only charity over here. Okay. Now you might say, why the exam did not mention table name? So we don't have charity anywhere, just have charity in the first table. So I have to do it. I have to basically do what? In cell C3 to look up the charity name, insert an appropriate label in cell. So I have ATHTC. Obviously, charity name, and I have to use VLOOKUP since we have to vertically look up for the data. So that's my lookup value. My lookup array. I want to get data from second column and I want to get an exact. So obviously I'll use this false and I'll enter. And I'll replicate and see all over. Is it fine? Yes, it is. Okay. Next. Right. Insert a formula in cell F3 over here that uses the most appropriate file to look up the name of the auction winner and display it in the format surname, forename. Okay, so we have to display over here winning bidder name. So obviously you can see over here is I have another table where I have the bidder number. and I have the forename and surname. So I have over here cost, winning bid, winning bidder number. So again, we'll use over here is tool VLOOKUPs. So I can use VLOOKUP. I can use this as my lookup value, and obviously I need to use. I can use the entire one, or I can just. It's fine. I would use the entire one, comma forename. So I need is 1 2. I want to get the from second column and 0 for the exact match, right? So what I want is the surname and then the forename. Okay. So what I have displayed over here, I think so is the opposite. Surname then the forename. So all I have to do is I'll change this into 3, and I'll just copy this, and I would write ampersand with VLOOKUP and now 2. And all we need to do is we need to add sorry space ampersand. So I have over here is the surname and the forename. All I can do is I can simply add a colon inside this, and obviously I can see there is also space, so I'll add space. Here we go. Exactly, this is what we want, right? So with one VLOOKUP, we've been able to get surname, and then we concatenated using the ampersand sign. We concatenate this with the colon, and then concatenate with another VLOOKUP. That was the matter, right? Okay. Replicate the functions entered in the question 15 to 16 for all auction lots. Apply appropriate formatting to the spreadsheet. Save your spreadsheet as auction 1 followed by your name, set number, candidate number. So obviously what we'll do is remember, whenever you save your spreadsheet, you have to save it as an Excel workbook and no other file name. Okay, you need to be very careful with all this. So that's it, auction by your name, right? And this has to be just copy the path where I have to save it all the way. Here we go. I'll paste it and enter. And an Excel workbook. Remember that. Save. Right. A list of all auction winners will be created to show how much each winner has donated to each charity for the items they have won. Now, create a pivot table to display the amount due by each person to each charity, total amount due for each person, and the amount raised by each charity for this event, right? Okay, so you have to create a pivot table that will basically display the amount due by each person to each charity, total amount due for each person, and the amount raised. So, right, we'll come into insert pivot table. Okay, so obviously with the amount that we have is the cost needs to be in the value. All the numeric, whatever numeric you have will be over here, and I will have in my row amount due by each person to each charity. So charity I'll put in the columns, and I would put the winner bidding name in the rows. Okay, so as you can see, this was the way of doing it. That's the answer. Okay, I'll save the file again. Read the question more. Save your pivot table as auction 2. Okay, so I will obviously come here. I'll say file, save as, browse, and I will save this as auction 2 underscore sign, right? An Excel workbook, right? Okay. Okay. Extract from the pivot table only the people who donated to all three charities with a total of more than 20,000. Okay. Sorry. All three charities. So he did not, they did not, what I can do is I can actually name this as count, and I can use is equals to, let's say, count. If we simply use count, it counts numbers. If we use count, it counts everything. Because I can't filter it. If I turn on the filtering, then my pivot table will not work properly. So what I can do is I can turn on the filter, and I equal 5 to 5. I have to find only 3, right? And then I need to find out which are greater than 20,000. Right. So this is my answer. These are the 4 cells that we have over here, right? Okay. Okay. Save your pivot table, extract, right. Evaluate the efficiency of a spreadsheet solution using no more than 150 words. Okay, so I have to talk about the efficiency. Basically, I would first of all talk about the crosstab. I can. Well, obviously, it's very easy to temper the crosstab solution that I have. If I look at the efficiency of this, I have here the name of the hospitals, okay, trust, and I could even change from here is the age assistance, okay. I can filter out my grand total if I may want to, okay. In my row labels, okay, I can again select the people by their names, okay. I could select the hospital. So obviously your pivot table is a very good way of summarizing your data, and you could change some of the values. You could even do is you can come to values, you can come to value field settings, and you can count all this data and you can or average it. So yes, as far as the efficiency of pivot table is concerned, it's a very good efficient way of summarizing my information. Overall, if I talk about the efficiency of spreadsheet, obviously spreadsheets are much more easy and convenient to be used by anyone without much knowledge of databases, where databases you need to have much more complex knowledge about SQL, sequential query language, and stuff like that. Okay, so obviously it's much more efficient as compared to your database software, right? Okay. So it's quite flexible as well to be used. Um, Moreover, I have done what I have used name ranges. I could have used name ranges over here. Okay, uh, would have been quite the same thing, but obviously it looks much more professional. Okay, and, and what else do we have? Identify another application that may be used for the task and describe the efficiency of its features no more than 150 words. Well, the other application, it obviously will be a relational database management system. In case if I use that, obviously we need to first of all normalize our data. Okay, um, we need to create relationships. So obviously it will be a lot more efficient since we will be getting rid of any redundant data. We will be able to validate it much more properly. Okay, but obviously one would require more technical expertise again to work in database software. So efficiency obviously in a database will be a much better option, and even referential integrity could be established as we are creating relationships. So these are the points that you can write in point 1 and 2. Create the most appropriate graph or chart to compare the percentage income of each charity from the event. Ensure chart is suitable for inclusion in black and white publication. The most appropriate chart or graph to compare the percentage income for each charity. These are my charity percentage income. So I could use over here So what we'll do is, for percentage income, I will be using some F. First of all, I need to find out range. I will specify this range where I have it. I can make it static. Oh, sorry, comma. I'll obviously make it static afterwards. That's my criteria. That's my sum range. Enter. And what we'll do is we'll divide this by the total sum of this. Right? And we could format, convert it into percentage. Right? In the same way, we'll do it for this and this. Okay, we'll make it static and we'll do it for this one and this one. Right? Okay. So in order to find out people attending events, usually donate 1 or 2 charities, but not 3. So we have to count basically how many times 1 and 2 is appearing and how many times 3. Okay, so for this what we have to do is we have to go back to our pivot table. I will display all my data back. I'll clear this and I'll write. What I'll do is I'll have over here is 1 or 2 and over here I have 3, and what I can do is I can use COUNTIF, right? We can even use COUNTIFs, but I'll just use this. So I can, that's my range, comma, and less than equal to 2, because okay, so this is for 2, and I could use is equals to COUNTIF. I would have over here again this range. I would prefer all of you doing all the previous syllabus AICT papers. Okay, it will really help you a lot. So that's what we have, 28 on this, because in AICT curriculum, Excel has been discussed to a lot of extent. So I would always prefer you using this. I'm sorry, no. We need to just make for these two. I can't make for, right? That's what we have. Okay, that's what we could even label it properly if we may want to. 2872. Right, that's what we have over here. Right. Okay. Till then, goodbye to the next lecture. Right.